Hello guys and welcome back to Car Obsession. So last week I brought you 5 things I like about Monique, my Mk1 Mazda MX-5. Now it's time for 5 things I don't like, which is actually going to be really difficult. Make yourself comfortable, this might take a while. That's all good. I like the indicator. This front wing is really good. Yeah. There's nothing in here I dislike. I like the badges, I like the rear lights, I like the exhaust, I like the rear design. Eventually I was able to come up with 5 things, so here goes. Number 1, this may sound terribly picky, pedantic, trivial and petty, but lack of storage in the cabin. Yes, I know this is a 2-seater convertible, therefore moaning about practicality seems really pointless. However, hear me out. So this car has got no cup holders and no door bins. So on a longer journey, it would be nice to have those extra bits of practicality. For what it's worth, you can actually buy a center console, which does have cup holders. So if I was that bothered about it, I could address it. But yeah, needless to say, to have no door bins or cup holders is a little bit annoying at times. Number 2, the wing mirrors. This may sound picky once more, like point 1, but this is something that does drive me crazy. As you would expect from a car that is 22 years old, the adjustment for the mirrors is manual, which is fine. I've got no issue with that. But unlike some cars that have that little prong inside where you can twist it and move it about to move the mirror, this car doesn't have that. So you may wonder, well, Aaron, how do you adjust the door mirrors? Let me show you. It is extremely prehistoric. You literally have to move the mirror itself, which is a bit difficult because they are quite stiff. As you can imagine, these don't get moved too often. I try not to move them. It's the first time I've been moved in God knows how long. And adjusting the driver's side isn't too much of an issue because I can do it whilst I'm sat here as I've just demonstrated. However, if you want to do the near side, the passenger side door mirror, that's where things become a little bit more troublesome because you need to come back to the driver's seat to make sure you've adjusted the mirror to the right angle so you can see properly. And if you're doing that by yourself, it takes ages. Of course, if you've got someone to help you do it, it's easier because you can remain sat in the driver's seat and you can direct your assistant to move the mirror for you. But if you have to do it by yourself, it's just an absolute faff. Let's say you've been shopping by yourself and some clumsy shopper has knocked your mirror and you have to readjust it. You could spend ages trying to get it right again. So if you really want to annoy a Mk1 MX-5 owner, adjust their near side mirror. I guarantee they will probably hate you forever. Number 3, lack of steering wheel adjustment. Yes, I know again this is quite a pernickety complaint, but the steering column doesn't move whatsoever. Therefore, if I wanted to adjust the driving setup, I can't. Well, I can adjust my seat of course, but not the steering wheel. Having said that, although I'm 6'2", I still find it quite easy to get a driving position that I'm happy with. If I had the choice though, I would like to have the steering wheel set a little bit higher and to have it a little bit closer to me. But despite that, I still find the driving setup to be comfortable and relatively ergonomic. However, if you are someone that struggles to find a driving setup that is comfortable for you, you may struggle. But yeah, given the choice, I would like to have steering wheel adjustment. Number 4, rust. Rust, the arch nemesis of the MX-5. It's kryptonite, it's Achilles heel. You get my point. This is a big problem for the Mk1, the Mk 2 and the Mk 2.5, and sadly Monique is no different. In fact, she was visited by the orangey brown bringer of doom last year, but thankfully the MX-5 restorer did a fantastic job of fixing her. And now I'm in a position where I can keep her locked away in a garage, which is of course a big help. And number 5. By this point, I must admit I'm struggling to think of more things I dislike. But one thing I will speak about is a common problem for the Mk1, the Mk 2 and the Mk 2.5. I'm not too sure if it affects the Mk 3, but that is the rattly door and rattly window. Let me demonstrate, because it's quite difficult to capture the noise whilst you're driving. Go again. And one more for luck. It does make that noise whilst you're driving along, particularly on bumpier roads. And it can be annoying, but to be honest, when you've lived with a car as long as I have, I've had this over 2 years now, you kind of learn to block it out. The root cause of the problem is to be found down here, the door bushing. This is the standard one from factory, and as you can hopefully see, it's soft, squidgy, and it's kind of like a black marshmallow. So you can actually buy an uprated one, which is stiffer. It helps to keep the doors in place better, which will eliminate the rattle. And they also claim to make the car a bit more rigid. I must admit I'm very skeptical on that, but I will buy a set in a few weeks and report back to you guys on what I think on them. So keep an eye out for that. So there we have it, 5 things I dislike about Monique, my Mk1 Mazda MX-5. I'd love to hear your thoughts, guys. What do you dislike about your MX-5s? Please do get in touch. I'd love to hear your opinions. If you have enjoyed this video, please do give it a massive thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't done so already. Comment if you want to. And if you are subscribed, don't forget to click the bell icon so you get notified every time I make a video. But until the next time, guys, be sure to keep up the car obsession.